Hello, and welcome back to Random Vids. So, I am sorry, I apologize for the lack of uploads. I have been busy the past, week or so. So, sorry about the lack of uploads. So, today, I finally have a time to upload a new video for you all. So, a bunch of videos that I've been doing recently is talking about my older videos, recapping on them, looking at some of the worst and best ones that I made of that year and stuff. And we've already done 2020, we did 2021, and we did 2022. But we're missing one year. That's right, 2023. What a year. Definitely not one of my favorite years ever. Definitely a year that I don't want to go back to, ever. And although I did think 2022, I started doing a lot better on YouTube. 2023, I guess I sort of did, but then I started falling out in the summertime. But like I said, it wasn't a great year for me. It was a pretty bad one. It did get better as the year went on though, because it did get really good then towards the end, but the whole middle, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, is that it was a pretty bad year. But there was some pretty good videos, I guess, that I made in 2023, but there was also a few duds that I made that year too. So the previous 2 years I've been doing, I did Mario Kart and then I did Mario Party. So 2023, I didn't really have a plan to do other Mario specific videos all the time. So it was just kind of random and whatever I felt like doing and whatever ended up working. And oh man, there was so much that happened. Even there towards the end of 2023, the filming device broke, aka the tablet. So I had to stop for a few weeks until we got a new tablet. And yeah, that was oh boy. Then I had to film Christmas sitcom on my phone. Oh god. That was annoying. Thank God that's over with. So for 2023, obviously Christmas sitcom season 4 as I said, and I did another Mario Party gameplay, this time being Mario Party 6, one of my favorite Mario Parties. And something else that I brung back that year was Stuffed Animal Amazing Race. I haven't done one of these since 2020. So going from 2020 to 2023 is big jump. So yeah, brand new season, brand new teams, and my absolute least favorite season too. So without further ado, let's get into some of my least favorite videos that I posted in 2023. So unlike Amazing Race 1 and Amazing Race 2, there's a few clips from Amazing Race 3 opposed to just one. The problems with Season 3. I've already made a video about how Season 3 of Amazing Race was just not for me at all. I can remember this now, especially when looking back on this footage, on how just lazy this season was. The main problem about it is that I just didn't have enough fun teams to work with. And I quickly ran out of teams. Like Steve and Creeper here, just looking at them, that just kind of seems like a last minute team, and it kind of is. I was just finding whoever the heck would work, or like R2-D2 and BB-8. Why would I do them? I don't know, but I did. And all the young teams, holy cow, there is so many of them. It's one thing to have some young teams here and there. I wouldn't mind, maybe Bluey or Bingo, and then the Minecraft ones. Kind of like how Season 2 was. Had, maybe two, maybe even 3 young teams. But I had, 6 or 7 in there. Jeez Louise, it was ridiculous. But that was just because I ran out of teams to do. I did most of the ones I wanted to do in Seasons 1 and 2. So a lot of the ones in this season are just filler teams. I've already talked about, though, when I ranked all 3 of the Amazing Race seasons. But yeah, this season was, it was something. And episode 2 is when I first started realizing that, this might not be as fun as you first thought it would be. And yeah, I completely agree with myself. I mean, the challenges I do for this episode, or for this leg, ain't that fun. I believe they went into the bedroom, had to find okay, anywho, the one challenge I remember is when they had to walk across the TV, basically like a carbon copy of Season 2, which that's not bad, bringing back challenges, but holy cow, I did that a lot for this season, bring back challenges from other seasons, and they were just so dry and lame in comparison. In fact, I basically liked the original challenges better, the ones that I've never done before. Because the ones I brought back, like Walk Across the TV, were just so dry and just didn't work. Because, like I said, I didn't have the fun cast like it did from season 2. So a lot of it just felt very awkward, them walking across the TV, especially since at this time there was still like 7 young teams left. So it was basically carbon copy of all of that. Not saying I disliked the young teams, but I had way too many in that season. Yeah, I basically did a switchback to season 2, which that's fine, like I said, but I just made it so like boring in this version. And this episode in general is just so boring to watch. Like, just looking at this footage, I'm just like, what was I thinking? It's too similar to season 2, and I don't know. This season was just a fail, not gonna lie. It was a fail. But at least this was still around the time where I was still, I guess, sort of enjoying Amazing Race. I wasn't burned out. I wasn't like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, later episodes. But this was definitely the first episode that I realized, oh, maybe this isn't going to be as fun as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, let's move on to the next Amazing Race episode, because as I said, this is not going to be the only one. Look at that, another Amazing Race video on here. Told you there'd be more. So this one is Stuffed Animal Amazing Race, episode 5. What another pointless leg. Kind of like the same problems with leg 2. I just tried to do way too many, like, same things that I did from the other seasons that it's just like, why would I do these? Like, for example, I brought back the roadblock from season, whatever season that was, season 2, where they had to climb up the thing and not touch any of the clothes that's on it. Not a bad roadblock, but why would I do it again for this season? It's not even as good as Walking Across the TV one. I just decided to bring it back because I was just too lazy. That's really what it was. Because this was still around the point where, like, I didn't hate doing it, but I definitely was cutting corners a lot too. And I was probably wasn't as enjoying it as much as I should have been, or at least like the other seasons I wasn't. I was just kind of going with the flow and just being like, oh, okay, we're doing this episode, then we're doing this episode, we gotta do it every Monday, because I had off Mondays, so I did videos then, and oh god. Oh, this leg is just so boring too, just watching it over. They're just doing the same thing that they did in season 2, except with a worser cast. It's ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking. But like I said, I was just too lazy. I didn't care. And then they go into the bathroom. That's where the pit stop is, in the bathtub, like the other 2 seasons. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm done with season 3. The more I watch season 3, the less I want to do a season 4. But I know I got it. I'm going to do it someday. But I'm just not sure when I'm going to do it. So yeah, leg 5. It's not just this season in particular. I've always just disliked this leg from the other seasons as well. It's just something about it is just so boring, and it's just so weird and hard to film. So it's not really a this season type of thing. I guess it sort of is, but it's just mostly the fact that this leg in particular is just never one of my favorites. So yeah, nothing else I have to say. Let's move on to the next Amazing Race. Oh god. Episode 7 of Stuffed Animal Amazing Race. My absolute least favorite leg to do. Because this was around the time that I just hated 2023. And this was the first leg that I filmed during that. And I was not in the mood to be doing a quote-unquote an amazing race around this time. I took 2 weeks off. I tried avoiding it, but I knew I had to come back and finish it up, and that's exactly what I did, starting with episode 7 here. The problem with this isn't necessarily the challenges, because looking back on it, the challenges are actually quite interesting, and it's actually one that I might do for a future one. They have to look through, they have to try to find Daisy, basically, around the hutch, but that's actually a pretty interesting challenge compared to the other ones I normally do on this leg. But um, like I said, it wasn't the challenges that I hated about this video. It was just the time that I did this video because I was just not in the mood to be doing YouTube videos, and yeah, it was a pretty annoying leg to film. I remember this was definitely the time that I just hated doing Amazing Race because I was so sick of it. I was tired of the teams where there was way at this point there was only two older-ish teams left, and there's like 5 or 6 young teams left. And I was getting so sick of the cast. Like, I really was. I just did not enjoy the cast at all around this time. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but good lord. And then for this episode, I did a whole thing where Puppy Dog Pals' bingo was sad because he missed his friends back home. When have I ever done that in like seasons 1 or 2, or even in like this season? I've only did that for this episode, which I just find so odd that I've done that, but I don't know. Like I said, I was just not in the mood to be doing YouTube, I guess. And this leg, oh god, it just brings back memories. Although, like I said, the challenge is really good. I do like the challenge of them having to find Daisy. But the whole episode, it's just focused on Bingo and how he's sad. And then, oh god, I was getting so sick of doing Bingo and Rolly as well. They were pretty cute, though. I like Puppy Dog Pals, Bingo and Rolly. They're adorable, but they are just so large in size, and it's just so hard to film them standing up. Oh boy, because if you remember, I think I mentioned this before, Bingo and Rolly were originally going to get 4th place, but because I got so annoyed with trying to film them, they ended up getting in 6th place instead, because I was just that tired of doing them. But yeah, episode 7 definitely is on the worst list for me. Might as well include episode 8 while we're at it. I swear, this season was just done at the wrong place at the wrong time. I could have done it in the wintertime of 2023 and it would have been way better. Even though, I still would have had to do the teams, but at least, maybe then I could have thought of some better teams to use instead of some of these, because a lot of these are just so lazy. Yeah, episode 8, it's after episode 7. I guess I didn't hate this leg as much as I did episode 7, but yet again, just looking at this, I have nothing in mind to do, and I'm just trying to quickly get this season done and over with so I don't have to worry about it ever again. And that is exactly what after episode 6 is. I'm just tired of season 3's Amazing Race. I am so ready to get it done. I am so burned out of doing these once a week. And I shouldn't say I despise, but a lot of the teams that I chose for this season were pretty dumb choices. And the challenges even for this leg aren't fun either. The main roadblock is just the repeat from season 1, trying to find the clue under the hat. Because, like, at this point, I wasn't trying to... Okay, I guess if I didn't like the other 2 roadblocks from the other seasons, then I would try to come up with a new one. But at this point, I was just thinking, season 1 or season 2? Which roadblock was better? Oh, this season, so I did that one. Although, I don't know why I picked season 1. Season 2's was way better, where they had to go in the basement. But, hey, I didn't feel like doing the extra work at the time. It's not like season 2, where I had a lot of fun with it. Because at least, like, the final 6 teams for season 2 were amazing. They were fun to do. It was hilarious. I had a lot of fun doing it. Season 3, nuh-uh. Not, especially around this time, too. I was just so ready to get the dumb thing over with, and I did not care anymore. I was just like, we're doing this, we're doing that, and that's going to be the leg for today. And they are going to do it, and it's going to be something. Oh, gosh. This poor season. It could have been so much better. Yeah, just another boring leg. Let's see if there's any others from this Amazing Race. Alright, you know what? Let's include episode 9, and then that'll be it for Stuffed Animal Amazing Race Season 3. Because, I mean, there's only so many times I can talk about the same thing over and over again. This season was dry. This season was boring. The teams were not the greatest. This leg I was not enthused to make an episode at all. The episode was too short. The challenges they did were so boring. And that is exactly how I feel about this one, too. I mean, I did make a new roadblock, which ain't bad, but I like the other roadblocks I did better. Like the other new ones I did. Yet again, just doing it to get it done and over with. Although I do remember hating this less than like episode 8 and episode 7. But yeah, might as well put this one on here too. It's season 3. I was so burned out of making these. And especially like around this time, I wasn't just making Amazing Race anymore. I was doing other videos because I didn't just want to do Amazing Race. I wanted to do other videos too. So yeah, it's episode 9. At least we're towards the end of it now. Oh boy, this poor season. It could have gone so well. It could have done so well, but yeah, this season, this leg, I mean, even if I don't hate it, there's just nothing interesting about it either. I'm still just doing the same thing I was doing for the other legs. The final, 5 teams now are just racing on as they were. And at this point, I'm just getting so tired of the teams, so tired of everything. I'm just trying to hurry up and get it all done, and then I don't have to worry about it ever again. But luckily, this is the last season 3 episode, because the last 2 legs I remember filming, and they actually weren't that bad. I don't think they deserve the best list though, but I don't think they were bad. I think they were actually done pretty well. But a lot of these ones yet, we're still pretty lazy. Nothing else I have to say, so now let's finally move on from something that isn't Amazing Race Season 3. The next video on my list is the top 10 worst Super Smash Bros. Ultimate stages. Now, you might be curious on why this is actually on the worst list, because I actually been wanting to do a Smash Bros. List for a long time and wanted to talk about my favorite and least favorite stages. And I do agree with all my choices still. The problem about this video, though, isn't about, like, the stages itself, because I do agree with them. The problem is, this certain day that I filmed, I was just, like, in a bad mood. I just woke up on the wrong side. I don't know what it was, but I was just in a bad mood that day, and I just did not feel like filming YouTube, but I knew I wanted to do it because it was the only free time I had, because this is around the point where I started working full-time, so I only had one day of the week off, so the only time to film in the game room when no one else is in there is the day I had off. And I remember I was not in a good mood at all this day, and I did not want to film but knew I had to, because the only other day I can film is Sundays, but everyone's in the house at that time. Anywho, yeah, I remember making this video and just being in the worst mood, and I was so lazy with everything. Like, sure, the footage ain't bad, but, I just remember talking and me just not knowing what the heck I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, random gibberish at some points. Like, let me see if I can find a clip to show you how lazy this was made.
Literally, it will hurt you. Every time it moves to the other side of the stage, or when it shoots its laser eye, whatever the heck it tries to do, it will hurt you, and it will make sure it does. It is just so freaking annoying. Like I said, I'm trying to fight the players here, not the whatever those things are called. I can't think today. What is that thing called? Not an item, not a morph. A hazard, that's what it is.
As you can see, I just didn't know what to say at that point. I was just saying a bunch of random stuff that I didn't know what to say, because I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know what the name was of the hazard, and there's been other things like that happened in this video too. Like, at one point I said the wrong number, and then, I don't know what to say about this and what to say about that, and it just goes on. And then there's the worst part about this video, where I forget to pause the video while I'm changing stages. I've never done that in a video until now. Well, none that I can remember, at least. But I was just that lazy and just not on my game at all that day. And I just did it because why the heck not? Because I had a day off and I wanted to make a video, but at the same time, I was just not in the mood. So, oh man, this video, it's not one of those like terrible ones that I would ever remake because it was that bad, but it's just one of those that just kind of sticks out where I'm here like, this could have turned out so much better than it was. If my stage choices would have been different from then to now, then yes, I would remake this video. But because my stages remain the same, I do agree with this list. I ain't gonna remake the video, but it's just a video that could have turned out so much better. Lastly, on the worst side of the list, I've decided to end it off on a Christmas sitcom. And although 2023's Christmas sitcom I found really good, and I didn't find any like notably bad episodes in it, but I figured I'd choose one out of the 10 that I have. So the one that I ended up choosing was episode 3, titled School. What does school have to do with Christmas? I don't know, but I guess I did it anyway. There is a few times where I just don't know what to come up with for the week's Christmas sitcom, so I just come up with the first thing that pops in the top of my head. I guess for that day it was School. You see, it's not as bad as last year's Strangers or even like Bully episode, but out of the other Christmas sitcoms this year, this one definitely feels like the laziest out of them all. It's not a bad video, by any means. In fact, I think it's pretty good, and I'm not here like a lot of the other videos this year where I'm just talking about filler stuff or random stuff that doesn't make any sense to the video at all. No, I'm actually like doing a good job with the video. But I think out of all the ones that I did from this year, this one would probably be my least favorite. Also, the fact that this was around the time the tablet broke, so I had to film from the tablet and then film it onto my phone so then I could put it on my YouTube channel. And that was annoying. That was very, very annoying. Thankfully, we got a brand new tablet, so we don't have to worry about that for now. So yeah, with that, let's get into the best videos of 2023. For starters, let's start off with Amazing Race Season 3. This is going to be the only video from Stuffed Animal Amazing Race Season 3, by the way. So as you can see, my favorite episode of Stuffed Animal Amazing Race was the very first one, the introduction to what should have been a good season. Because, you know, it's Stuffed Animal Amazing Race. It's the thing that started my YouTube channel. It's literally my first video on my first channel. It's not quite the first on this channel, but it's almost the first on this channel, too. It's just nostalgic and classic. So, of course, I did really want to make a Season 3, and I was determining if it was going to be like this, with a bunch of new teams, or a season with teams who have already been in it before, like an All-Star. But I figured for this season, I guess I have a few teams that I could possibly do yet. And that is exactly what I did. It wasn't an all-star. Instead, it ended up being a team with a season with brand new teams. And I guess the introduction started off pretty well, not gonna lie, even like watching this back. And that's odd because Season 1 and Season 2 actually both had very weak introductions, not gonna lie. Especially Season 1, because I didn't know how to pause the videos, it was so dark everywhere. Season 2 was a little bit like that too. And what's funny is that even though Season 3 is my least favorite season out of those 3 seasons, Leg 1 is from Season 3, I think is better than the previous 2 seasons. So I actually was starting off on a strong note for this brand new season. And even with a brand new challenge where they had to find makeup items for Peach, which I found that such a hilarious challenge, and it was a lot of fun to do. And that's basically mainly all that they really did for that leg. Obviously, they had to run from... And another thing that I wanted to fix, too, was the lighting. Because if you remember in Seasons 1 and 2, it was just so dark when I started The Amazing Race. But that's because I started in the hallway. So this season, I started it in my room, by the doorway. Actually, like, right next to where the Christmas sitcom usually is. But anywho, they started there, so then they'd have light. And then they'd run down to the hallway and get, like... So then we wouldn't have all that dark scenes like we normally had in the other seasons. And basically skipped a lot of the weird stuff that I did from Seasons 1 and 2. And it ended up being a lot better in this season because, you know, it's actually light for the most part. And like I said, the challenge was just so much fun. I was just in the mood to do Amazing Race. Like, I was all ready for this brand new season, which should have been really good. I was all ready for having a good time with this season. Like, oh man, I can't tell you how excited I was before like the season began. I made a trailer, I did a video where I did the intro. Like, oh man, I was so excited to start this new season because I haven't done one in a while, and I was pumped to get it started back up again. Yeah, until I finished the season. That was a completely different story. Literally the complete opposite of how I felt when I started the season. Because, man, I was actually having fun doing it. But I guess at the time there was still like 7 old teams, 7 young teams, so it kind of evened out in a weird way. And it was only leg 1, and I was like still like pumped up to do it. I don't know what the word is, but like I was having fun doing it, having a lot of fun doing it. I didn't use old challenges. It wasn't boring. It didn't seem filler. This was just a great start to what should have been a good season. But unfortunately, this is the only good episode of season 3. Although, okay, the finale was good too. But this episode, like, I was still pumped up to do it. I was excited. I was having fun. I couldn't wait. The challenge was really good. So overall, it was a pretty good episode for a pretty bad season. Yeah, kind of like how Christmas sitcom was in season 1. I only liked the first episode, and that's exactly how this one is too. I only like the okay. I shouldn't say only, but the best one is the first one. So yeah, that's all of this terrible season of Amazing Race. Let's move on to another good video that isn't Amazing Race. Next on here, we have a group of videos called Daisy Plays. Oh man, I remember starting this series back in August of 23 and having a pretty fun time with it. Remember back in the worst videos of 2021, I talked about how I did those weird collabs with my brother where we played Mario Kart Wii and we didn't know what to say, so it sounded like we were robots. Well, I guess not robots, but we sounded like we did not know what we wanted to do or say. We just kind of played the game and had the video recording. Boring. This is the real deal. Having one of my favorite Mario characters just play Mario Kart. And because Daisy is, like I said, one of my favorites, she's funny, and it's fun doing her too. Now, yeah, it has been a while since I have done the Daisy plays, but I've just been so busy with other stuff that I didn't have enough time to do any other Daisy plays. So I definitely do want to do another Daisy plays in the future, because little do we... No, I shouldn't say that, but now we have a thing called the Booster Course with more tracks. So maybe I'll do more Daisy plays. And by maybe, I mean I definitely will do more Daisy plays in the future. But I'm still trying to get, like, videos in my head that I wanted to do. Luckily, though, because we're in 2024 now, this is the last video. This is the last best and worst moments of this certain year type of thing. And, yeah, the Daisy Plays videos were a lot of fun. The one I'm showing is Daisy playing the DLC courses, and although I do like all 3 of them, this one is definitely the best one because it's definitely the better part of 2023, if you remember me saying, because summertime was, I mean, it was summer, but I don't know, I just feel like I could have had more fun in the summer. I didn't only start enjoying it until like late summer, like late September, October, and I had a lot more fun with this Daisy Plays than the other 2. The other 2 were fun, I guess, but I sounded very like off and like it wasn't as funny as like this one. This one was good. This one was definitely the best one out of the 3, which is why it's the one that I'm showing. Anywho, let's move on to the next video. And would you look at that? We made it to Christmas sitcom. So one out of the few episodes that I'm including for Christmas sitcom is, of course, Daisy the Boss Part 2. I remember wanting to do this. I did this one the year prior in 2023, and I liked it so much. And another video that I liked so much was Daisy versus Puppy Paws. So what I did in this video is kind of like mix the 2 together. So Daisy's the boss in this episode, and she makes Fireflower Mario and Puppy Paws do different food challenges, kind of like how her and Puppy Paws did. It's kind of silly doing Fireflower Mario versus Puppy Paws, and how like Fireflower Mario wants Puppy Paws to win, he's doing it the nice way, and then Daisy's here trying to cheat. I don't know, it was just a lot of fun to do, and yet again, you could tell I was having a lot of fun with this video. And it turned out really good. I remember watching it and liking it. Although yet again, tablet broke, so I had to film it from the tablet onto the phone, etc., etc. Usual stuff that I've been saying. Let's move on to the next Christmas sitcom. Another Christmas sitcom that I liked was I believe it's episode 7, no, episode 6, where Daisy, Fireflower Mario, and Puppy Paws watch Santa Buddies. I can't believe I've never thought of it before until this year. And I remember when I thought of it in my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I haven't thought about it before. It's just such a great idea. I mean, hey, it's the Christmas sitcom. Might as well watch a Christmas movie, which also inspired the Christmas movies episode too, which that one was good, but this one, it was better. And there's always that little inside joke with Daisy disliking Puppy Paws and making fun of him and stuff. Which obviously mean, but it's fun to do. Like I said, Christmas sitcom just has a great cast overall. Firefly Mario, he's the dude in between. He's the main man. Puppy Paws, he's the cute puppy, and then Daisy's the crazy lady. It's just such a goofy. You couldn't get any better. So yeah, they watch and review Santa Buddies, and oh, I remember having so much fun with this video, and when it came out, I had a lot of fun watching it too. Like, I just had so much fun with newer Christmas sitcom compared to like season 1 Christmas sitcom, especially the fact of how now I like Christmas sitcom more than I do the stuffed animal Amazing Races. Yeah. Yeah, nothing much else I have to say here. It's a great Christmas sitcom. Last video for the day is Christmas sitcom episode 9. This one is a little bit of a different Christmas sitcom. Usually episode 9, or like the second to last one, is the 'Twas Night Before Christmas Eve. But I've done that 3 times now, so I wanted to try something different. And this was A Christmas Carol told by Daisy, being played by Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge being played by Daisy, I should say. And then, of course, a lot of funny, not just Mario characters, but a lot of funny characters acting as the Ghost of Christmas, past, present, future, and overall just being really pretty fun to make. And around this time, this is when I got the brand new tablet, so now I could make the video quality look better as well as the sound. And I don't know, I just had a lot of fun making this video, and I remember wanting to do it last year for Christmas sitcoms 2022, but I just didn't end up doing it. But I'm really glad that I ended up doing it for this year. And although I did say when I talked about a lot of the worst episodes that I don't like having the Christmas sitcom change locations, like going to Puppy Paw's house, going to Daisy's house, playing in the snow, etc. Because I just find those episodes the weaker ones out of them all, and they're just cringy to watch over, and they're more boring. But not this one. But this is also 2023 Christmas sitcom. It's been 3 years since 2020's Christmas sitcom, so I've grown a lot more and I'm less cringier. So I think I did overall a better job with this than I did with the other getting out of the normal area for Christmas sitcom, like the other other episodes of 2023's Christmas sitcom were really good too, and even like the episodes from 2022 I thought were not cringy at all either. But yeah, overall, this episode I think is a pretty good episode. I don't know if it's my favorite Christmas sitcom 2023, but I think it's a really good one overall. And that does it for the 2023 videos. Let's hope 2024 is a great year. And I will see you all hopefully sometime this week. I'm not going to promise anything. So I might try to do a video on Good Friday if I can. If not, then I'll probably see you next Sunday, probably. But I hope you all have a great week, and if I don't see you till next Sunday, I hope you have a happy Easter. Anywho, have a good day. Peace out.